3. Game.
So hi, good morning everyone. So we're here for another episode of the Beyond Alpha podcast, and today we're gonna talk about a little bit something serious. Um, how do you accept loss in times
Mm.
like these, or not just in times like these, but in life? Kasi we all know na death or loss of someone, it's really a part of life, especially during these trying times na it just shows us how fragile life is. And again, recently there's something very significant that happened to Brian, my partner, as you know, and we'd like to share some thoughts on how to handle this. Brian?
Mm-hmm. Yan. Good morning, everyone. Although, yun, like what JP shared, may nangyaring hindi maganda. It's a personal matter. So, yun. Ang kaya namin naisip yung topic na to for today is yun, not just loss of life, whether any kind of loss. So, loss man yan ng work mo ngayon, especially ngayon na we're in very challenging times. Possible, some of you nawalan ng trabaho, uh, and yung mabigat doon, possibly family or relative mo, family mo, possibly nasa hindi magandang sitwasyon ngayon, and yung or possibly nandun na rin sa sitwasyon na nawalan na rin kayo ng ano. So, yan. Sa akin, yeah. With any loss, in iba-iba yan ng level or bigat. So, with any loss, everything is easier said than done eh. Kung ano man yung masabi namin ni JP today, and alam namin yun na mas madaling sabihin yun kaysa gawin. Pero yun nga, in my case, kung paano mag-handle niyan, like yun nga, kagabi lang, it's April 21 today, so April 20, I lost my nephew. So for the information of everyone, recently, mga 1 month ago, nanganak yung sister ko. Then, the child was premature, mga less than 7 months. So, I think, he's just 1 month old. And, yun, like what JP said, ang fragile ng buhay eh. As much, you'll fight lahat ng resources mo, lahat ng pwede mong itulong, blood donation, o kung ano man na kaya, kung ano yung kaya ng mo ngayong ibigay to help the kid, your family na mag-survive or to fight, 'di ba? And bibigay mo eh. And it's very challenging. Siyempre emotionally, tao tayo eh. So, mabigat yung pagdadala ng bagay na yon. Pero yun nga eh. We've been fighting, and in my case, kumbaga, we're expecting the best, pero yun nga, we're preparing for the worst at the same time. Hindi mo masabi. Kumbaga, i-bless ni Lord na makasama namin siya, that he would grow up with us. Siyempre, that's better. Pero yun nga, ngayon na kinuha din, ako, I'm taking it as what is the situation teaching me? Ano yung pwede kong matutunan doon sa sitwasyon. So, next time around, whether pamangkin ko ulit or any family member ko, or for example, magkaroon na ako ng baby na mapunta rin din sa gano'ng sitwasyon, how would I prepare better sa ganyan? So sa akin, yun nga, gano'n din, like what I've said earlier na expect the best. Laban mo kung ano yung kaya mong ilaban, kung ano yung resources mo, manage it properly para matulungan yung laban na yun. 'Di ba, hindi puwedeng suko ka na lang, eh, kasi may fighting chance na binigay sa'yo, eh, laban mo. Although the odds are against you, ilaban mo. Then kung ano yung maging resulta, learn from it. Gano'n ko siya gano'n ko hina-handle yung sitwasyon. And yun, for what would I take, kagaya nga nung napag-usapan din namin ni JP before we started recording. Ah, paano ko ano, eh, the lesson that I could learn from this is gano'n din, eh, how would you increase your probability of ano, eh, success? So, halimbawa ganyan na tipong, magbubuntis yung isang babae, siyempre ilalagay as much as possible, you you feed your body with the best food. Alam naman natin 'yan, eh, kung ano naman yung hindi naman nakaila sa'tin kung ano yung mga mag magagandang pagkain para sa katawan natin, eh. And although 'yan, we are given options na masasarap, pero alam nating hindi healthy, pero yun nga, hindi naman namin sina-suggest na totally ano mo, eh, kumbaga balanse, i-balanse mo lang na siyempre may masarap pero alam natin hindi healthy, sige tikman mo. Pero 80-20 rule lang na tipong kung ano yung mabuti sa katawan mo, siyempre yun yung ano mo, majority of pagkain mo dapat yun. Tapos once in a while you splurge on food that are less, uh, or hindi yung akma dun sa good health natin, 'di ba? So yun, sa akin 'yan pre. Ikaw ba, 'pag Chong, paano mo i-handle yung mga loss mo or whether sa family member or anything, Chong? Paano ka mag-handle ng loss?
Recently, pre, siguro last November this year, meron din sa amin na nawala. Pero technically, ano eh, parang close friend ko yun eh. Pero yung closest
Mhm,
namin, hindi ko siya, I can't really describe it. Pero sasabihin ko parang kapatid ko yun, as in literal. Um, Wala eh. First of all, number one, syempre, is you're always gonna question bakit mangyayari to eh. Bakit siya nangyayari. Especially, like, dun sa kaibigan ko, it was very sudden, very quick. Tapos, alam mo yun, he was doing a lot of good things sa buhay niya. Tapos
mm,
all of a sudden, in a day, umalis na siya. Um, for me personally, it was ano eh, number one is getting grasp with the situation. Parang naintindihan mo ba kung ano nangyayari? And accepting na nangyayari siya. I think yun yung number one eh, accepting na nangyayari siya.
mm,
Uh, sa totoo lang, people always move on eh. And they have to move on regardless of ano yung sitwasyon. I mean, masakit man, pero the reality of it, especially sa panahon ngayon, you would really see how fragile life is. Eh. How fragile life is, and the other thing is life is fragile, and ang parang counterpart nun, people move on rather quick. So, kumbaga, we're just here for the short journey. Sa akin, yung loss ng mga mahal sa buhay is it just makes me appreciate more yung time
Mhm.
ko dito.
Mhm.
Um, it, it gives you something positive and also may negative feeling. Syempre, malungkot ka. Secondly is you feel na nasasayang mo yung oras mo. But one thing na naging effect sa akin talaga is you have to maximize yung time mo dito. You have to
Mhm.
enjoy yung oras mo. Sabi nga nung isang fighter na favorite ko eh, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a great time. So, sa akin yan, it's more of urgency to live life, to try to do the things na gusto mong gawin. And, but as for what I do, how do I accept loss? It's number one, wala eh. You have to allow yourself na masaktan eh. Kasi
Mhm.
that's the human thing to do eh. Kailangan mo talaga
Mhm.
masaktan. Pero alam mo, sa totoo lang, that is going to fade away. You have to look at yung, kumbaga, if you guys have memories or just try to put in perspective yung nangyayari, yung sitwasyon. Why is it happening? Alam mo yun? Um,
Mhm.
again, as for me, we just control what we can control. And
Mhm.
na-mention mo nga kanina, Rai, is yung pagkain. Kasi ito, like example, itong COVID na to. I'm pretty sure meron mga naapektuhan dyan na hindi kinaya. As of, sabagay, if you look at the numbers, 600 na namamatay. Pero may
Mhm.
nagso-survive. It doesn't guarantee na kapag nag-exercise ka daily or kumain ka ng healthy na pagkain is magso-survive ka. Hindi yun guarantee eh. Pero,
Mhm.
kumbaga, you're stacking the odds in your favor.
Mhm.
Alam mo yun? Medyo, if hindi ka ma-save nun dahil nag-exercise ka at kumakain ka ng healthy na pagkain, edi wala. Pero if it did save you, kumbaga, swerte ka. Pero
Mhm.
my point is, medyo naguluhan na ako sa point ko, pero my point is, you gotta get yourself ready for these things. Kunyari, I mean, against itong COVID, against, or pagbubuntis, which is a very delikadong activity rin para sa babae. Alam mo yun, it's your job or your responsibility to get yourself ready. Yung physical and mental mo na
Mhm.
nakatawan eh. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Pero
Mhm.
if it prevents even yung slightest na sakit, then you have done your part. Kasi if we
Mhm.
contract a disease like itong COVID or not, I don't think it's really in our hands eh.
Oo.
Yes, pwede natin gawin yung mga preventive measures like social distancing, mask, and everything. Pero kasi nanonood ako nung para mga testimony ng mga survivors, wala silang idea kung saan nila nakuha to eh.
Mhm.
Alam mo yun? Wala silang nakasalamuhang galing ibang bansa. Yung routine nila was all the same. So, yun lang. Kumbaga, you have choices eh, right now. Like yung sa friend ko, he was doing everything right sa financial aspect ng buhay niya, sa trabaho. Kumbaga, ma-asenso na siya sa work. Malapit na siya magpakasal. Napagpundar na sila ng pera. Everything was going smoothly. Kaso, napabayaan niya yung health niya eh. Lagi siyang puyat. Hindi siya kumakain ng tama. Hindi nag-exercise. Naninigarilyo. Alam mo yun,
Mhm.
it wasn't a guarantee na if he lived a healthy lifestyle is mabubuhay siya. Hindi rin yung guarantee.
Mhm.
Pero, I'm pretty sure yung lifestyle niya ng puyat and yung hindi pagkain ng tama, yung fast food life, it contributed greatly dun sa nangyari sa kanya. So,
Mhm.
again, there are things that we can control and I think you just have to focus on that. Pero yung fear of death, tingin ko, you have to look past that eh.
Mhm.
Pero it's also a good thing to acknowledge that we can die like anytime.
Oo.
Lalo na ngayon eh, itong COVID talaga papakita niya sa'yo, you can die anytime right now.
Mhm.
So, But this fear also is what makes life beautiful. Eh. Yung alam mo
Ah,
that this is going to end. So, sa akin yun, ang parang pinaka-key takeaway ko is control the things na pwede mo i-control. And acceptance, obviously. Right?
yeah, I agree pare. Yung sa acceptance and moving on. Yun nga, syempre as humans, as emotional beings, sige, uh, give it time. Give it time na if you need to grieve, you need time to, yun nga, uh, move on. Sige, bigay mo yung time na yun sa sarili mo. Pero part of moving on is how do you move forward with this experience in your bank of experiences. How do we learn from it and how do we get better moving forward? So, ganun eh. So, napaka-importante rin yung sinabi mo, Chong, about appreciation. Na ma-appreciate mo yung highs pag naka-experience ka rin ng lows eh. 'Di ba? So, yung mga low points mo na ganito sa buhay, these are the things na that would help you appreciate pag nandun ka naman sa mga highs mo. So, yun nga. And it's a matter of perspective lang din eh. And kung paano mo dadalhin. Walang immune sa atin sa mga emotional challenges na ganito and sa like twice sa health, 'di ba? Sabi mo nga natin kanina pa na ang daming factors na uncontrollable. Like for example, itong ang COVID-19 situation natin. Hindi natin alam kung paano tayo mahawa or ano. Pero all we could do, which is kailangan, which is yun din naman yung pwede natin din tutukan is increase natin yung chances or yung odds natin, yung probability natin to survive it. Yun yung magagawa natin eh. Paghandaan natin, preparation, di ba? So yan, eating right and staying healthy. Although yun nga, hindi natin hawak totally 100% yung bagay-bagay. Pero at least nilagay natin yung posisyon natin na mag-succeed, di ba? So, sa akin yun, pare, kagaya ng sinabi mo na itong mga losses natin, especially lives ng family or relatives natin, it always help me go back to my motto eh, na pag natanong ako anong motto ko sa buhay, a life well lived. Kanya-kanya yan eh. So, kung ano man yung nagpapasaya sa'yo, 'di ba? At the same time, kung hindi ka naman nakakaperwisyo sa kapwa mo, 'di ba? Live that life na masaya para sa'yo. So, yung dati nga eh, iwasan mo rin yung comparison eh. Kasi kanya-kanya tayo eh. Yung kung ano yung nakakasaya kay GP, maaaring hindi nakakasaya sa akin. And may similarities rin kami. So, ini-enjoy namin yung similarities namin. Pero at the same time, nire-respeto rin namin yung differences namin. So, ganun lang yun eh. So, live your life yung natingin mong, yung buhay mo, yung sa'yo, ganun. And,
Alam mo, sa tingin ko nga, Bray, siguro
mm,
gawa tayo ng isang dedicated episode discussing what is a life well lived.
mm,
Alam mo, I think maganda yung na-mention mo.
sige, sige. Tapos, yun, nabanggit na naman ni JP. Basically, we put our odds in our favor sa mga bagay-bagay. Dahil ngayon nga, paulit-ulit namin nasabi, there are a lot of things we can't control. So, focus tayo dun sa bagay na makontrol natin. And last night, kakapanood ko lang din The Last Dance. So, basically, part of A Life Well Lived, part nun, ma-share ko lang is, na-injure si MJ. I think it was his second year sa NBA. So, na-injure siya. Then, bumalik siya sa school and naglalaro-laro siya doon. Tapos, gustong-gusto niya maglaro ulit sa NBA. So, ang advice ng doctors is, tinanong ng management ng Chicago Bulls na what are the chances na pag pinaglaro namin sa Michael Jordan is ma-injure siya ulit. Sabi nung doctors is 10%. Pero with that 10%, may possibility na end of career niya. So, the management, since franchise player nila si Michael Jordan, they were looking at it na 90% chance. Ang ginawa nga nilang analogy is, may gamot, there are 10 pills, 9 of those pills will heal you, one of those pill could kill you. Pero yun yung perspective ng management. Pero Jordan, ang perspective niya is there's a 90% chance na magsasucceed ako. So I'll take those odds. Kahit may 10% chance na mag-end yung career ko, I'll still go with the 90% chance. So tingin ko with that episode na we're looking forward to, A Life Well Lived, isa yun eh. Na tipong, sige, lagi naman may risk sa bagay. When we're living, there's always a risk of mga failure or yun nga in his case, ang risk niya is end of career, which is buong buhay niya nilaan niya doon So, 'di ba? Parang iniisip niya, hindi niya na muna inisip na what would happen kung mag-end yung career. Hindi Parang kanya, I can play right now. I'll make the most out of every minute, every second na buhay ako that I could play properly. Yun yung takbo ng isip niya that time. Well, yun nga, based dun sa docu na present natin sa Last Dance, he was giving us a glimpse of what he was feeling and thinking that time So, yun, para sa akin, napakagandang example with A Life Well Lived. So, yun, to sum it up guys, enjoy life, make the most out of everything, tapos take care of your family, take care of your health, stay safe guys. Anything else to add, Barry, to wrap this up?
Sa akin, just the last thing is, just spend as much time as possible dun sa mga mahal mo sa buhay. Whatever petty thing na meron, siguro just throw it out the window. Kasi we don't know. We don't know when. Ang pinaka-importante lang is be prepared. Whenever our time is up or we're being called up, is kaya natin, we can leave this world na walang iniisip. We can leave this world wholeheartedly. Again, yun lang sa akin. Stay safe, everyone.
Have a great day. Salamat, guys.
Right.
Bye-bye.